103.
Hey, what do you know? Here's that ad again.
Why is it giving you an ad at that specific part?
At least give me the fucking Tim the Tap Man State Farm commercial. At least that would make so much sense.
Is he still on Twitch or did he move over?
He's on YouTube.
He's on YouTube. I figured he would have gone to Kick.
I think he's kind of fine on YouTube. He doesn't really need money.
Okay. Let me know when you're good.
Okay, I am there.
All right, you're there? All right.
Yep.
So when I say play, hit play. 3, 2, 1, play.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember.
I will be eating my
They're
dinner
a core
while
part
we watch.
of what makes me who I am. I believe
There
there's
he is
this
with his
deeply
stash.
rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep
It looks so bad with
adventure
it.
alive. In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure.
Yeah, he can't pull off a
Heroes
stash.
awakened on a
It's
desolate
not horrible,
planet.
but like
A silent god set
not
in our
good.
sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in
Looks like me with a
darkness,
stash.
showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years, our heroes would shape a story far greater than anything we could have imagined.
like in those
Players would
shoes though, the
explore
PlayStation
deep into the depths of
Jordans, I
peace,
think.
hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal abilities to stand alone against monsters that took others an entire elite squad. They'd race alongside their friends far into the early morning into halls of an ancient city where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world, and together meet new faces on
It's
this
the live
adventure
action
who would become lifelong companions.
All
commercial.
all their live action
together,
commercials are badass.
we approach
They're awesome,
the
man.
final shape.
Miss them.
We're about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be
First
clear
saga.
about the stakes. In the final shape,
The
you
Infinity
will go
Saga.
inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world. A vacuum-sealed
Uncharted.
experience begging for you to be
Great
the
game.
first person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
Here it is.
Here it is.
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back. Why you were chosen.
Woo!
Fucking Assassin's Creed style here.
It's a callback to that commercial.
The truth is, I didn't know then.
Oh, Galloward.
It was just a feeling.
Gallahorn and Vogue. I don't have mental yet.
After all we've seen, all we've lost. This
Oh my god, those were arms.
might be our last. So I'm asking you
Hello.
one last time to rise.
So I watched this on my phone, right? So I didn't like catch some of the details in this.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that detail.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Battle axe.
Legend. I'm already a legend.
I become legend
Jesus.
twice.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that, as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians
Oh,
and
don't fail.
allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by ghosts at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe.
I thought that was the
from what
whole
Witness intends
point
to
we
do.
were resurrected for. Was to protect the Traveler.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able
Yeah.
to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside is the pale heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the Witness.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It
It's
wants
so
to fix
weird.
all that. So
It is.
it's trying to put the universe into this frozen
It's like
perfection
parts
where
from, like,
everything's
the
just
first
exactly
Destiny
how
with-
it thinks it's supposed to be.
Like
That
weird
is the final
twisted
shape.
areas.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of Oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
By the way, have you updated your game yet?
In the final
I have
shape,
not.
we're going
Okay.
through the portal that the
The
Witness
13
has opened
gigabyte
up
update.
to
Just
confront
FYI.
it and stop the final shape.
Jesus.
Inside the Traveler is this infinite, vast, unknowable. And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird. It's a little strange, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, and it is also just so cool and artistic
Trippy.
in the best way.
Yeah. It's like Ron.
The Witness
Mhm.
entered well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
That's
One
kind
of the most
cool, I
memorable
guess.
Botalas from Destiny's past. is the D1 tower. It's really a labor of love.
Yeah, did you recognize that was the D1
The final
tower?
shape means so
Yeah, that's what
much
I was
to
thinking, but I
everyone
was
who's
like, that's
building
kind of
it,
weird
and I
that
think players
that
are
was
really
in
going
there,
to be
but I
able to
guess
see
that makes sense now. Like, it's like,
That's
The
where the
Pale
speaker
Heart is
was.
our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety.
I think
and
Final Shape is
feel
going to be very
it
nostalgic.
escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping.
The raid jumping puzzle is going to be
these
great.
massive pieces to massive pieces.
it can't be any worse than Ron. Did you
One
get
of
an
the
ad?
things that we really tried
No,
to
I didn't.
also capture is that
You want me to
the Witness
pause?
keeps throwing everything it has at you.
I mean, I guess
And
you
so we're
could.
going to
I mean, it
fight
don't matter.
these
You already
new
seen it,
enemies,
so.
the subjugators.
Well, just so we're in sync. Let me know when they get to the subjugators.
I get another ad here soon. I might see if YouTube audios was fixed.
I'm surprised that you're getting like so many ads. Do you not have ad block installed on your
I don't think Twitch has ad block.
I'm definitely not subscribed to their channel, so
I just saw Taken.
Subjugators are the new unit you're
All
going
right,
to be facing
subjugators.
in the final shape. They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, while in support of all the other
like they
enemies
decided to
you're
give tormentors
They bring something entirely
stasis
new
and
to the
strand.
battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
We're focusing you on the
Why
campaign
Tangle's
and only
getting
the campaign. It's
a
the
nerf?
most important thing in the universe at that
Tangles
point.
are getting a
You
buff.
have to stop the final shape from happening.
Oh, they are getting
And
a buff.
for
It's
that,
Suspend
we do
that's
need
getting
the help
nerfed,
with our
yeah.
allies, and so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the Witness.
In the final shape, we are inside the Traveler, very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds. The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first.
I was just about to say,
super
it
in
sounds like
Destiny right
Radiant.
now. Your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade.
That's kind of
almost
cool. I
being
was thinking
sentient
that they should
as it
bring that back
searches
at some
around, and then
point.
it hits a character.
Yeah, I was
bounces
playing
off,
with
goes to
that
another one,
last
and
week.
You're
Radiance
so
is-
overflowing with this energy that you are also
Might be an
giving
issue,
it to your
Crucible
allies,
a little bit,
allowing
but
them to have their solar weapons.
Yeah, because what it is like
supercharged,
you get
applying
your abilities
force when
back
they're
faster,
shooting.
right?
The new Solar Warlock aspect. When I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy, it launches part of itself out.
Oh, that's
and
kinda
hits the enemy
badass.
and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive.
Yeah. Now we have Solar Buddy.
Twilight
Yeah.
Arsenal. It's a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
It's so cool, man.
Insane to me.
It's so cool.
That's
Press
pretty
and
badass.
Hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
The Hunter Arc Super.
Alright,
Arc
Void Titan
is all
seems
about
pretty
finding the
good.
shortest distance between 2 points. The hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The
Okay,
hunter
that's
has
not
an
too bad
aspect.
then.
We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like
That was good, but I think it's more like, you know?
I like it, I like it.
Yeah, Arc Hunter's gonna be super mobile.
Fuck yeah, it
We've
is.
been working on all sorts of goodness. We've got exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to
Kinda cool.
reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a
Oh,
real special
shit.
weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment
Golden
where we
Gun
saw
is a
that
sniper
Traveler
rifle.
beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went,
Oh my
I kinda
God.
want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So
Or
with
a
this
gun
option,
that's
you
like the
bring back these
Traveler
iconic
beam.
Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We
Oh
have
my
to
God.
bring Kvastov into the fold.
Yeah, they're bringing back D1
Red Death,
weapons.
exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the
Dragon's
world, burn it
Breath.
all. In the final shape, we have new weapons.
That was god
submarines
awful
coming,
on
broadening
D1.
what
I think it got
weapons
better like
can
towards
be.
the end of its life
Like
cycle,
borderline
but
exotic functionality. So, for example, we've
That
got
should be
a
amazing.
rocket pistol sidearm.
It might
sidearm.
be.
We always liked the special ammo sidearms.
Where it
This
just ignites
fires
everything all the time.
Slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of
yeah,
regular
playing a
weapon
battleground.
and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a
Speaking
new
of,
sport weapon
apparently
system.
all the
Sport frame
battlegrounds
auto
are
rifle is a type of
GMs
legendary auto
this
rifle.
season.
It'll let you
Oh,
switch seamlessly
wonderful.
from firing at enemies to healing your allies.
All the heist ones.
I'm really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
The weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming.
I have no idea how
years,
good that
and some
healing
new,
auto
really
rifle is going to be.
wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
I mean, it's at least kind of unique.
Come on, take a load off. We've
You
got
know,
a lot to cover.
Gives you another option other than Lumina.
This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so... I'm back! Hey, you two, give me a sec.
So I kind of think Kate is back for good this time.
This is great. Anyone want a hug?
I guess we'll
Get
see.
your rock. Oh,
Considering how big of
worst
a
case scenario, you die.
deal they're
Who
making
knows?
it.
Maybe you won't.
I don't know how I necessarily like that, even though I love Cade.
Well, better get back to it.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide. Cade is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group. I think it's going to be great for them.
Well,
yes,
at least we have each other.
Colonel!
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and
Give
that
me
idea
a
of like
second.
the gang being back together for this moment.
You got another ad?
I'm here now.
I went to YouTube.
Wherever the hell.
Okay, I'm back to like where they're talking about Cade.
You get to unlocking the path?
No, not yet. Still talking about Cade. Just showed Nathan.
Yeah, considering they did a whole section on Cade, I think he's back for good. I think the way they're going to explain that is that, like, you entering the Traveler or whatever, like, he's a figment of that creation, of your memories.
Yeah, they just finished up with the end of the. Maybe did the reveal trailer of Cade. Oh, Cade's walking. Going back in, got the ships, unlocking the path.
And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek.
So this is going to be the season.
Contend with her sister, Zebu Araf. It rests with me. Will you come back from this? Do not be afraid.
What in the world?
Did you get to the part where Eris is
Yeah.
transformed?
Yep.
So when I first saw that, I thought, oh my god, Shivu Arath was here the whole time. But no, it's she just decided to like become full hive.
And open the way to our tides.
By the way, we make moss now, so that's fun.
The death of whispers. And they do
Yeah.
whisper.
Considering how many times those things have killed us.
Guardian. Every opponent you
Well, I mean, I make a moth during a finisher. Does that count?
Does it kill you or does it go after the other guys?
I mean, it kills the person I'm finishing.
Let us show her what it is to be Hive.
You have found the horn of battle. You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
By the way, the new exotic for Titan this season, it allows the Burning Maul to do as much damage as a Thunder Crash with Curious.
Well, that's good.
Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and
Titan's another
breaking Hive
DPS.
spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
Solar
At the end of
DPS.
Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first. And that bigger problem's name is Xivu Arath.
Why wouldn't Imaru
Her,
like
he only
resurrect
gets stronger. Eris has an
Savathun
idea.
to help
It's
us
a
against Xivu Arath?
It's a wild ass idea, yeah.
I don't know.
She determines, like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through.
I'm happy we're
by
finally
eliminating
facing her,
enemies,
though.
And we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
Yeah,
What
finally.
does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We wanted to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to come up with things like Deck of Whispers.
Deck of Whispers.
It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that
That's
really
a lot of
leans into the
cards,
build
Jesus.
crafting.
You actually
Yeah.
are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I am such a sucker for deck building. Like, being able to, like, bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chess.
Yeah, oh,
it's really
super
fun.
I'm so sad they added deck building into this game.
So we've got two brand
You're
new seasonal
sad?
activities coming with.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
We've
of
got
deck
Altars
building.
of Summoning and Savathun Spire.
Like card
Savathun
games, really.
Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density.
I'll live, though.
It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
So that would be Dead Man's Tale,
With Season of the Witch, we have a
The,
brand new
grenade launcher.
lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really
Yeah.
exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight
And,
game
Are you talking about just this
experiences. We wanted
season?
to make sure that we focused.
Well, they're talking
on
about like the
with
exotic
new Vex
missions.
network map. We really wanted to make sure we hit.
So it'd be
It's
Dead
you're
Messenger,
shoulder to
right?
shoulder more often.
Yeah.
There's not as much
And then,
deep sight lines that you're interacting with, and a lot of the flow of
that
the map
pulse
is
rifle.
actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the
Oh,
Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also
what's
some
it
motion energy,
called?
right?
The one that
We've got a new PvP game.
can also
mode
have like
that's all
you
about
get like kind of like a
it's about
sniper with
multiple
it.
relics, so
Yeah,
it's not just
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
like the
charge it
Scorch
up,
game
yeah.
mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass. We've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're going to be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I think that'll be fun.
I will take what I need.
Yeah, fun little game mode
Words
potentially.
In my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty hypey this season, obviously. There's something in the air. And so when thinking about like what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very hypey season, there's only one answer.
Oh, no way! Who would have known? So I was about to get an ad there on YouTube.
Imagine. Applebee's ad. Yeah, you guessed it. It's Corazon. It'll be fun.
Yeah. The bridge. Just stasis across.
Yeah. Necrocrasm's back. Was Necrocosm any good?
Not really.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know why, like, okay. In our clan, so many people are like, oh my god, Necrocosm, oh my god. And I'm like, dude, this gun sucked when I tried it. Like,
I mean, it was alright. I mean, it was an AR.
Yeah.
I didn't really fuck around with it too much.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into the game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these.
Of course, they show Fall Good Glass for when she says that.
Happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you in this high-level content.
When it's combined with Fireteam Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fireteam Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players
I believe
to
this is what Key's been working on.
Play style. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat.
It's coming
I'm
next
really here to
season.
have a good time.
Which I think that's what he said during.
Players to show
Yeah, that was
a
the
little bit
last
about
time
it,
we
a
heard
little bit
about
more
it.
about what they're about. I think what's really
So it's
great
gonna
about
come
it is with
this,
this launch, we're also looking
next
at including
season.
inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection. The feature coming out today that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we have done is we went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken.
It's nice they added in like an extra like story or narrative.
This is a moment that a lot of players knew.
Yeah, I mean, I still, if they were gonna do this, I really do wish they would have added all the story content.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's better than nothing.
Regardless of their power level.
Yep. They also needed to tell people who Cade was for any new people.
This 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes. And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important
Episodes
is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called
like I'm okay with, as long as like there is, obviously it doesn't seem like there will probably be
coming right after the Final Shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the Final Shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure.
So the first one starts in March.
The acts act as these anchors.
So probably a couple of weeks after
introduce new weapons, new artifact
Final
mods,
Shape.
new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments.
And every 6 weeks they'll just like have
We're actually
more
providing more
content.
cinematic styled experiences throughout the Final Shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the Final Shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
What makes a guardian?
So I think they didn't say anything about
devotion, bravery.
What's it called? A new subclass. But I think if they do a new subclass, it's gonna come in the season like or the chapter like after final shape.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're getting kind of new supers anyway, so like that's fine.
We are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead.
But I just remember seeing that red subclass thing.
We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
Yeah.
all of us.
And then the chapter after is like that red color anyways, so...
Every hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death. The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Did Chuck and Ace do Den Messenger mission?
No, they haven't.
Okay. Well, that'll be new for them too.
This time, there is no escape.
I think that was like the season before, or 2 seasons before they played.
Or they
It's
removed
going to be
it.
an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians, with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's Inn is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
I think they said they're gonna dial up this raid, and then use that as like a baseline going forward for difficulty.
I hope so.
They do like a Q&A kind of thing after this. They talk a bit about like raids and stuff, and a bunch of other things.
After all these years, all we've lost. This fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise. One last time.
There's edition reveal.
So, what are your thoughts on the showcase?
It was solid. It wasn't nothing. I don't think fucking.
When we create a collector's edition, we
I don't really care about the
try
collector's
and
edition, 'cause I'm not-
recreate
It
items
wasn't, like,
from the
absolutely, like,
universe for players to enjoy
mind-blowing.
outside of the game.
Yeah, I
this
know,
year we're
right?
doing
Like,
a
it's like
Destiny
perfectly
1
fine,
tower. We really
but
tried to
nothing
work
like
hard
too
at
crazy.
thinking about 10
Yeah,
years of
like-
Destiny and how best to encapsulate